شكرا جزيلا. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. Graduates, before I start, I just want to say a few words that actually Samara is very hard to say no to. If you really want to get something done, give it to her. So you are very lucky to have her as the chairman of your board. It's very hard for me to speak, and I wanted to speak in English here because it's an American school, American international school. And so let me begin. Excellencies, distinguished guests, graduates, and family. I am delighted to be here today to give this commencement address as a parent myself, as a teacher, and as a former student. I know what's special about this day and about the joy it brings to you and your family. One of my daughters is graduating next year, and we all look forward to the occasion. It will be a joy to celebrate her success, but I must tell you the truth, to also celebrate, to stop paying the tuition for her in the United States. Incidentally, it's the same daughter that after I received the Nobel Prize, I was contacted by, through the internet, by a man who lives in San Francisco, who happened to be an Egyptian, and he actually proposed to my daughter through the internet. And that was a new experience for me to handle. Today is a festival of success and opportunity, your success and your opportunity to make a difference. But what is success? Success is defined, if you look in the dictionary, as the attainment of one's aims or wealth, fame, or a position. In other words, success comes from achieving your planned goals. Surely in the process of growing up, essentially all of us need help and care to shape our goals. We owe a great deal to our parents and teachers. And I would like you, the graduates, to join me in thanking the parents and the teachers who not only participated in shaping your own goals, but also made this day possible. Let's give the parents and the teachers a big hand. With the seeds of success planted already in you, you are now embarking on a new life, a different journey from the one you just completed. At your age, I did not dream of the Nobel Prize, but I had a passion for a lady. This lady's name is science. I had and still have an optimism about life and a determination to succeed. In what? I ask myself sometimes. In being not content about learning and being content with my life. Perhaps few anecdotes might help you to understand these points that I'm making. By high school, I had an enormous passion for science, and I don't know how it came about. In fact, my mother told me that at the age of 14, عندنا حاجة في مصر اسمها السبرتاية. So I took the Sibertaya, which is an oil lamp, and I put it in my own bedroom, and I tried to burn wood with some few glass tubes in order to see the transformation of wood into a burning gas. And in the process, of course, I was going to burn the whole house. And that was my first passionable chemistry experiments I did in my life. The first day I went to the University of Alexandria, I recall vividly that I had tears in my eyes. And the reason why I had tears in my eyes is because in those days, at least in the 1960s, a university in Egypt was a fantastic powerhouse with these wonderful professors, and it just, you could not see yourself one day being a professor like these distinguished ones that I saw. So I was in awe of seeing the fantastic challenges, but I was content and sure about the new life. Leaving Egypt, going into the United States, it was non-trivial. This was 1969, and it was after the '67 war, and the mood was not right, and it was impossible to obtain a, what's called in Egypt, a mission to go to the United States. Absolutely impossible. We either had to go to Russia or to Eastern European countries. But there was some determination on my part that I was going to go to the United States, and I did succeed in reaching to get a scholarship from the United States, which I'm grateful to. In the US, I had the feeling of being thrown into an ocean when I arrived there in '69. Ocean of unknowns, different culture, different ideas, different everything. My English was poor. I didn't know how to communicate in this new society. There are all kinds of challenges, and I don't want to waste the time of the parents here this evening tell you, but one perhaps interesting anecdote about the challenges one meets in a new land. I recall I got to know one of the graduate students when I arrived there to do my PhD. His name is John Micklick, and he was a very nice, sympathetic American graduate student. So I started to feel that I'm really a good friend with John. And in Egypt, if you really want to kid with your friend, you say, "Ha'tilak." So I started to tell to John the exact translation, "I'll kill you." And all of a sudden, I saw the coolness with John, and he thought that this guy from the Middle East is going to do it. So he never spoke to me anymore, and I learned the lesson, not to say, "I'll kill you" after that. There are all kinds of challenges. Even going to the restaurant sometimes, as I told somebody earlier this today, and ordering a dessert instead of dessert. These are all things that were quite exciting to us. There's a whole new challenge also. I was very fortunate to receive 9 offers as a professor, including Harvard, Caltech, Chicago, many others. But frankly, I didn't know what are the new directions we're going to go to in science. The one thing I had in mind, I had the idea that we're going to be looking with a new way on the unknown world of atoms and molecules. And so many expert scientists told me at the time that these experiments will never work and these experiments will not be interesting. But for some reason, and I have followed this advice all my life, I didn't listen too carefully. I listened with respect to their opinions, but I did not listen to follow what they have to say. And I continue to do this work that you now heard about from Madame Semra that led to the Nobel Prize in less or close to 10 years from the discovery in 1987. So you are about to meet with the real world, a world which is full of excitement and opportunity. At your age, you should be excited about your century. And please, and I repeat please, should not listen and don't listen to words indicating that all opportunities are past. Quite the contrary. The century is full of new opportunities and excitement. Let me mention a few things that surely present opportunities for new frontiers that I would like to share with you and also with the parents, which I feel they are quite exciting for the future. By the end of this year, 2000, the sequencing of the human genome will be complete in the United States. We will have a genetic map which describes you, me, and everyone on planet Earth. Just think, 3 billion letters will be deciphered and read in the human book of genetics, completely transforming medicine in this century. By the end of this decade, which is only 10 years, we will be in a position to manipulate matter at its smallest, most fundamental limits in time, on the femtosecond time scale, which we received the Nobel Prize for, and we here meaning my group and I, and in length on the nanoscale. Just think, if your heart beats once a second, now we can see the beats of atoms and molecules in a millions of a billions of a second, the femtosecond. A femtosecond to the second is what a second is to 32 million years. So we are now able to watch a movie of 32 million years of the life of these molecules, but we are watching every second of it. By the end of this century, we may have colonies on the moon with human atmosphere, and may have our second homes on other planets, and may even the galaxies. Just think, graduates, our universe is about 10 billion years old, and at the speed of light, which is 300,000 kilometers per second, our universe limit of scale is 10 to the 28 centimeter, or 10 raised to the power 23 kilometers. That should be enough space for you and me. Throughout the history of scientific and technological developments, this is a point that's not understood in developing countries. We have learned that there is a third pillar to this trilogy, the human society. We have to think about the transition from scientific discovery in the laboratory to its technological implementation and on to the human and societal impact. Again, just think. We have succeeded in the first cloning experiment of a higher organism, the sheep, Dolly. But we still do not have the full perspective. We still do not have the full perspective on the moral, ethical, and the religious implications. This is an important and exciting opportunity for science and society to tackle. So with these few examples, the opportunities are numerous and indeed exciting, and you are the future leader who must take advantage of these opportunities in science, engineering, humanities, economics, and other fields. But remember, there is also the other equally important role. The important role of the other side to our existence as a human species, interacting with and helping others. The planet Earth has already reached a population of 6 billion. Some are labeled the haves and the rest are labeled the have-nots. But all 6 billion people on this planet Earth, these people have the same genetic 4 letters. In biology would be called G, C, A, and T. We are all humans. How can we live peacefully in this world with human dignity if we simply want to be rich or super rich without caring about the have-nots? The conflict in the world today are changing from being conflicts between nations over borders, economics, and over military dominance into clashes of civilizations, which are driven by religious and cultural differences. How can we live in this world peacefully and with human dignity if we simply want to be rich or super rich without tolerating other cultures and religions? Even if we do not think about these global issues, there are the issues of self-satisfaction and individual happiness. Please remember, Greed will not lead to contentment. Conquering the dot-com business will not necessarily make you a happy man or woman. Exploiting the have-nots will not make us a better nation of the world. Success can be achieved while maintaining its human and cultural values. You have a great future ahead of you. Think positively, appreciate the opportunity that's given to you, and do what you love most. But on your road to success, remember to help and contribute to your community, your country, and the world at large. Some of us are very fortunate to make a difference in the world, and you should strive to make a difference in the world. I don't want to give a long speech, so I would like to end by these words to you. Life is a voyage of discovery. It is a journey of learning how to learn. You have just learned how to learn about life, and I wish you a very successful life. Thank you.